Yeah. So I guess what's the kind of some of the thoughts you're thinking about, like dealing with the tax code, like maybe you have to hold the home for a certain period of time?
Exactly. So I introduced Assembly Bill 1771, the California Housing Speculation Act, and it's modeled after what a few other countries and a couple of states in Canada actually have instituted to try to tackle short-term speculation. There's different variations of it, but in essence, it uses a tax penalty on the income gain, not the base equity and not reasonable growth, but the profit gained from a short-term sale. So for starters, I said we should levy a 25% surtax on the profits gained from a short-term sale if you sold it within 3 years. And I sort of picked that number thinking, how long if I was an investor and I was willing to take some risk, sort of what's that time point that it would be too much risk to undertake? When would I not want to purchase that home and instead invest my money in the stock market? And then that 25% rate, that would actually graduate down to 0% over 7 years. The California Research Bureau provided me with some market information that showed the average length of home ownership is about 10 to 16 years, depending on the region of the state. It's about, I think, 11 years here in Sacramento. It's more like 15, 16 years in Los Angeles. So most people are well outside the window of effect of a proposal like this. It really trains the consequence toward short-term interest.
Right.
And then, of course, I've heard from a number of individuals when this bill was introduced a few weeks ago saying, whoa, well, I just, what if I had to change my job, or what if I got a divorce, or, life circumstances happen. We can work on those things. And based on some of that initial feedback, I am willing to accept an amendment that exempts all primary residences. If you take the homeowner's tax exemption, for example, then I think that sort of is fair, and you should be exempted from that tax gain as well. But the more that we can train this toward the corporations or multiple property owners that are coming in and taking up limited housing supply that we have, I think the better, the more rational this policy becomes as a response.
So, like, what is current law? Like, currently, what is in effect to kind of stop what's going on here? Or is there nothing? Is there no tax levied if you have a short-term flip?
Right now, there is a corporate tax gain over a certain amount of profit gain from that sale. It's actually a federal law, which the state reflects. However, many of those that are used to, I think, this kind of activity are familiar with the 1031 exchange opportunities, which allow you to be able to roll that over through a third party, purchase subsequent property of like value or greater value, and then basically avoid any tax at all by moving that forward. Again, that's taking that income gain and putting that into more expensive property or greater numbers of properties, and then the cycle continues.
Right.
So I'm not changing federal law, but what I could do is have California actually mirror, again, what some of these other countries have shown to be a mitigating effect against speculative activity, and have a standalone tax policy here that will provide that disincentive going forward.
Right. Make sure you click the button below and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with all our news and updates.
Are called dreamers.